A man on Mars opens a box of dehydrated manure, soaks it in water to soften it, scoops it up at regular intervals, ars it in raw potatoes and pours water over it. More than half a month later, the red planet was really transformed by him here 55 million kilometers from the Earth, and he is the only human abandoned here. This potato field became his hope for the next 3 years. 2 months ago, a superstorm hit Mars, and he was hit by debris as the team was evacuating, but fate gave him a chance. Buried in the Earth to slow down the loss of oxygen, he survived, and fortunately the base was intact except for the communication equipment, which was completely disabled and lost contact with her. The man begins to take stock of his supplies, realizing that he is just over a year's worth of food and it will take 4 years for the next exploration team to arrive. But as he finishes using the restroom, he comes up with a solution for the food. He uses his teammates' feces and a bag of potatoes to complete his 3-year ration. 2 weeks later, potato shoots broke through the ground, and for the first time, an Earth crop grew on Mars. The man's range of activity on Mars gradually expands, and eventually pilots a rover that locates a rover launched in 1997 to establish contact with Earth. Yes, however, an accident occurs when a hole in the test chamber causes an explosion, and the potatoes are instantly frozen to death by the -60-degree temperatures of Mars, with only enough food to last for 600 days. While NASA's resupply program takes 800 days. It is at this point that a genius on Earth proposes that the returning space station be allowed to accelerate around the Earth after resupply and arrive in Mars orbit in 500 days to dock with the Mars takeoff vehicle. More than 200 days later, the men take all their supplies and set off on their journey. On Mars day 461, it takes 77 days to reach the launch point. He removes the extra parts and replaces them with a translucent piece of cloth in order to reduce weight and allow the vehicle to fly farther. With its limited fuel to dock with the space station, the engines are then ignited, and the man finally leaves Mars, but he still hasn't reached his target altitude by the time the fuel runs out, so the space station made the decision to accelerate closer, but they couldn't slow down anytime soon. The commander came up with a risky idea. She had the exploration team make bombs to blast the valve pods. The commander seized the moment and took the safety harness and immediately left the station. Gradually the man appeared in the field of vision, but the actual situation is still deviation. The length of the safety belt is not enough. The distance is still 300 meters, so the man also took a risk and punctured his hand. He used the propulsion of oxygen